Okay, còn trầm trầm. A hearty welcome to all of you joining us from so many different parts of the world. Welcome to this Dharma teaching on the great yogi Milarepa. We're very honored and blessed to have His Eminence Nubpa Rinpoche and His Eminence Yongey Mingyur Rinpoche, as well as the most venerable Geshe Dorje Damdul, to give us teachings today. The Venerable Matthew Rika would have been here too if not for his mother being unwell. Nonetheless, he's recorded a video especially for us and will play it for you later. Now, I'd like to invite Lopon Dawa, the person behind the Milarepa exhibitions over the past 3 years, and the organizer of the Dharma teachings today, to share a few words with us. 非常欢迎来自世界各地的朋友们来与我们同在然后我们今天的这个活动呢，就是大瑜伽士弥勒日巴纪念活动。我们很荣幸的请了Nubpa Rinpoche，尊贵的Nubpa Rinpoche，还有尊贵的Mingyur Rinpoche，还有Geshe Dorje Damdul来给我们开始。那尊敬的 Matthew Rika，因为他的母亲有点不适，所以呢，他今天没有办法到来。不过他特别为我们录了一些视频，我们待会儿呢能够一起看。那现在我们一起请 Lopon Dawa， 他是我们过去3年 Milarepa 展览幕后的策划人，也是今天我们佛法开示的主办人。那我们请他来给我们分享几句话。拉玛达瓦。
During their song on the tribute way, Judge Rinpoche, Judge Rinpoche, Geshe Dorje Damdul, Zoveke, the Namjung Nangange, Chidro Yong Sobala, Tomatastelex Shai, and during the Tajet or Chizumala Riven Zenam than Jeveke, and the Kaju coating the Deji Shukoyake. 다시 고동라운도 뒤지 쉬와이나 다시 나가라도 참이 견세다리 지주 말라리베게 안에 라메가시 니중까지 닝루치무 들어나네 세직 류직라 안 산지비 기비치무 남다르다 이 공개 당화 송구르도 소텔라 안 도삼나야 등가람서 개침버지기 마 시마고 같은데 지리 다들 이나야 다치다 등장게 두조라 아니 뭐뭐 상마직 내가라 저와지 뭐 다들 지요도 지기 아니 공개 남다르든지 롭지린 것이야다 저야 라양디스 갈레요 대와 다가나 신기지 대든지 뭐 로얄라 디스칼레요 소데 이지 다치 좀 말아제베게 등내에서는 많죠데 사자 타정보다 엠베게 네 양스러워다 근데 장장 요소데 는 망보지 대화라 냠쇼 나야다 네 가르사 내건로야 주반냠내 정야 디스커버도 오지 손데 네 망보지가 다 고갑데 미드 아니 나랑 같이 점준다고 오지 로카지 제그링랑 배송다고 오지 치네 아니 저 같이 좀 말아제베 고종토게 좀내 되게 빠르다 다가 나시 다지 고종토게 안에 그래서 지준단 제외가 다시 신랍자 쟁그래가 매직 된고 손도대 라서가 된대지 는 점동을 남네 제가지 쇼와이나 다쟁네 다지까지 나야한다고 된대게 갑리나 망보지 냠요시야라 디스지 커버다고 용도 여러 된데 아직 점동 남베기 토네 안에 모두지 시제나 는 점동의 인소도 지금에 줄로기나리 는 개성 상마지 냠교 토비알라 근데 이게 다 지금 내단다고 지금 뭐지고 손도 냠교 난게나야 지주말아레발라 아니 지금 대화다 이지 아니 지주가 남달라 제솔로바 이게 네 두기 몰람 어다 된대지 지와이나 되니 규라 박자 상보지 저거를 예삼네 되니단 좀 더 된대지 고츠 바래 다 등한 예돈 줍된 걸로 내줘 떨어지 된다 예돈 줍게 걸로 타면 아니 예돈 출국으로 싱가포르 다른 대신 제가 somlo 로솜그린가 어다 대지 제가 쉬와이 제가 선다 된 좀 되지 나오리 ten데 인도 다동다 지게 ten데 점동의 시외 갑래 나야 아직 라마자 전부 망법 해봐다 다나 신기 내용만 망법 팸네 다 성명군의 야고도 다들 미투니 경영라고 시통의 야고도 텐데 송도 텐데 송바 나시 당가랑 근군이 나야 텐데 로망버지라 안에 텐데 지금 미투니 제가 라만라라 karsaadi jamdong de shetom na something de ki mi ji song yore ina ya da thalo ti do ye bna sa ti jembe ke ne jamdong de shia de this is carbon ro ji yin song de ne ta da di subject ro ma don sam ji ane ta ji ka jong de ji ko de shi wa yin ne ta tring la par tu ane ka jong nang ge jab jen da bar mo che da ane jab je yong ge min ro mo che ta na shi ki ji do je jam de ne kon namba la par de ta jab je namba ni ro cha cha ba yin na ni chi ju ma la ri ve ke ta tum ne za chen mo so la de lo ma mo ji la ka ji ning ru ane 냠냥 타르치 마지 나 요래 근데 인송도 되는 건 넘버 더 제게 근데 그 다지 가져도 나와이나 오늘 전에게 가요라 근데 건 넘비게 지금 영화다 또 같은데 오로나나 배편도 전부 용사를 삼거든요 내가라서 대념 용난게 상마이나야 오늘 개와 상보를 삼거든 안에 나랑 근고니 나한테네 건 넘버라 직 된된 슈바나시 건 넘베 독자와 전부 드링다 패발라 닝타관네 내 가오숑라 투지치 거딘 체스 샤이 ning jong de jage ke to this ji se jing ji hyu jo ba chi这次首先我向中国的Nubpa Rinpoche中国的民族Rinpoche中国的这些多些长辈一起告别佛友吉祥的问候扎西德勒
Firstly, I'd like to offer auspicious greetings to His Eminence Nubpa Rinpoche, His Eminence Yongey Mingyur Rinpoche, the Most Venerable Geshe Dorje Damdul, and everyone present. Chashi Dele.
关于这次为了纪念Milarepa的这个事迹而通过这个网络的这个就是举办的这个佛法的开始，那我想做一个简单的说明。
I'd like to share a few words regarding this Dharma teaching we're holding online in commemoration of Milarepa's deeds.
那大家都知道，Milarepa是对就是上师虔诚的信心、强大的助力心、精然苦心、以身圆满佛果的一个大成就之一。他所讲的非常那个殊胜的教法、道歌那些呢是我们忠实的佛法文思修的一个重要的内容。
As you all know, Milarepa's deeds and of enduring asceticism and songs of realization are crucial content for the listening, contemplating, and meditation on the Dharma.
但是呢，就是我们这个现代的人，大家都是工作就是这个繁重，因此呢就难长时间学习顺着Milarepa的这些教法专辑，也没有时间去看很多的书Milarepa修行过的那些山地呢，它多数都是非常遥远。所以呢，就我们很少有机会能去那些地方朝圣，在那就去那些地方呢，就是闭关习修，大家都是很难有这样的机会的。
However, in modern times, people are very busy with work and hence find it very hard to spend a long time studying Milarepa's biography. Neither do we have the time to read many books. Besides, the places where Milarepa meditated are very far away, and we hardly have the opportunity to go on pilgrimages or even practice in the places we live.
所以呢，就我自己努力了，就是许多年，主要在这个 收集那里的修行过的那些山地山洞的照片，以及将当今那个他自己有用过的一些生物生育意的有些价值品，那就是我想用一个那个展览的方法来那个展出的话呢，那就是这个是就说，因为呢也是你用那种展览的方法的话呢，那也是可以说是不分宗教，那也是不分那个好像是年龄，那也是大家都可以有一个机会参观。那这样的时候呢，他们也有机会可以，看这些亲眼看到的时候呢，那就是会更有那种信心然后呢也是发那种大的那种愿，然后呢就说也是他们可以说是种下一个很好上的种子所以呢就这个用一种展览的方法的话，算是比较这种现代的。那这样的话，那他们也是会达得到尊者玛拉日巴的这个价值，所以呢，就是说我们有一个这样的那种动机。
That's why I worked very hard for many years, mainly collecting photos of every place Milarepa had practiced and the local areas, as well as the things that he had used and relied on for his body, speech, and mind. I hope that through exhibiting these photos, people of different races, different religions, and different ages can not only see these places, but also be introduced to the life and deeds of Milarepa. And if through looking at these exhibitions, people can learn about Milarepa's life in a short time, and should confidence arise in them, should they want to learn more about Milarepa's deeds or even make great aspirations, then the exhibition would have planted seeds of virtue in the hearts of many so that they may be blessed by Jitsu Milarepa. Based on this motivation, we organized many different exhibitions.
那在这个2017年菩提迦耶，然后呢，在2018年在台湾，2019年在新加坡，那也是就是这个举办那个马拉日巴的那个展览那个的时候呢，也是有很多的这个大师，很多的贵宾名人，还有呢很多人就是去参与，那他们都是非常的这个欢喜和赞叹。那也有讲说，那这个是应该是，就说好像是继续的这种办下去，那他们也有这样讲，那我自己也有这样的一个计划，但是呢，今年那个就是这个病那个病的那个预期的问题，所以呢没有办法做这个展览，但是呢用这个现在在这个佛法的开始的方面来在进行这个就是这个活动。
So in the year 2017, we organized an exhibition in Bodh Gaya, in 2018 in Taiwan, and in 2019 in Singapore. Many great masters and guests and local people of each country came to the exhibitions and expressed joy and admiration. And for this year, I had also planned to hold a Milarepa exhibition, but because of the pandemic, such a plan did not pan out. But to ensure the continuity of it, we've organized this online Dharma teaching.
那在这个这次的这个就是那个我们那个开始佛法的中国的那巴仁波切，中国的永典门牛仁波切，那他们的话呢，就是曾经很多年在这个马拉日巴修行过的每个山洞、山地去闭关修行成就的，所以呢，就说他们也是讲这个佛法是真的是可以说是非常有适合的，因为呢，他们自己的经验跟真悟的那个方面讲的时候呢，一般的人讲不一样的，所以呢，就是我们也是今天能够请得到这3位大师这个是一个可以说是我自己来说的话呢，也是非常的高兴，那也是我非常的感谢3位大师。
What is important to note is that the Rinpoches, the teachers teaching us today, have themselves practiced for many years in the very places where Milarepa had meditated. And because they will give us teachings based on their own experiences, combined with aspects of Milarepa's biography, the blessings that we receive will be vast and immense. And so, all of us here are indeed really fortunate, and I'm really delighted to have these three teachers with us today and sincerely offer my gratitude for their kindness.
我也感谢大家今天参与这个书山的这个佛法的讲座，谢谢大家。
And I also thank all of you to be present here with us. Thank you all very much. And now, thank you so much, Lopon Dawa, for your heartfelt words. Now, please join me in inviting Lopon Yeshi Rapja to lead us in the practice of Milarepa's Guru Yoga. Lopon Yeshi Rapja.
Kende namba drobar jinje labdazu. Tata nyida drobar jinje labdazu. Dosan de nyida drobar jinje labdazu. Tunda nyida drobar jinje labdazu. Dage jula tengen den joda jura. Shinja malo ba jewa, Shinja labda zo, Tata nyuda jewa, Shinja labda zo, Dosan de nyuda jewa, Shinja labda zo, Tun de nyuda jewa, Shinja labda zo, Yigen jodo jorba, Shinja malo ba jewa, Shinja labda zo, Tata nyida jewa chinge dosan nyida chinge labda Sende nyida jewa chinge labda Himalaya Badu Jela Sovande Himalaya Badu Jela Sovande Himalaya Badu Jela Sovande Gemala Dorjela Sorvande Gemala Dorjela Sorvande Gemala Dorjela Sorvande Gemalai Gemalai Durjela Sorvande Gemalai Gemalai Durjela Sorvande Gemalai Gemalai Durjela Sovande Zoy Gemalai Geba Dorjela 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 Sovande Zoy Gemalai Ador Sovande Zoy Gemalai Ador Sovande Zoy Gemalai Ador Sovande Zoy
Thanks to Lupon Yeshirabja for leading us in the practice. Now let us place our palms together to respectfully welcome His Eminence Nubpa Rinpoche, who will be giving a teaching on the blessing power of meditating in Milarepa's holy sites. Nubpa Rinpoche.
今天我们大家一起来回忆尊者弥勒日巴的伟大事迹的日子里，首先这次参加的各位法师和佛友们，礼敬问好，扎西德勒。今天我以前在拉齐的时候写的修传兴盛祈愿文。这次作为法的供养，我首先这里面的读一段。南无摩罗揭瓦扎给内耶，南无贡耶达波多吉扎，一灭的罗巴达的肚子，那罗迦达军塞巴多。所的所住的达瓦就将阿萨罗求国主给罗，米拉姐姐娘子，达吉尼瑟索达巴米拉特巴格，所的所住的达瓦就中面要给你写扎罗，无所就的长阿主巴的古扎在年纪的图些，所的所住的达瓦就用多感谢用多拉给。都是觉得马人中多就那罗中的都是现在了，所的所中的那罗就那面中多都中大街，就说感谢中的那么年三在西方都是西朝，所的所中的那罗就用的什么色的讲法说。这些让咱这边跟中跟猪八之间的差这了。所的所住的他说就查个大所那所人的所，人家国大所以高度在中就天天所现成果了。所的所住的他说就那所东方木的就说记住看到不是政治建筑大东北那就是成果了。所的所住的他说就没那样个那些所的。查实自所见中年万万端自在也若高望，所的所住的道法就自然马所一切这个，故了感谢一切界外也马达看着永年所梦，所的所住的道法就那边感谢的是看了就。真正真的那罗分享把主就真的他过面来着。所的所住的那罗叫他妈不的他妈三界所，他妈那那都也就都这三界共业我这见了。所的所住的那罗就一等还也无所中的，跟着都是就说什么也说呀，那都真的了嘛了。所的所住的那罗就他罗走我嘛所的名。因为军老公的干啥将他们人的十八千多，所的所中间到了就成都整体叫啊对接吧，因说民主真老总就是东的一线的路， 所望的所住等他说就也就在就是所过的我的咱的三年没家吧估计我就同学强健所望的所住等他说那前面我念的这里面呢顺着米勒日吧他那个从出生到知道他的原籍在这些的这个事迹都大概的这个概括写在这个上面所以呢这些意义呢我就这个今天没有时间讲了所以今天我主要要跟大家分享的是这个圣意修心的这个诸乐心和比乐心所以这个里面呢我今天这个跟大家稍微分享一下所以第一个呢就是这个我们作为一个修行人在修行的地点修行的这个圣地是非常的重要所以当时尊者米拉热巴他在6年8个月在这个跟马巴上师学习然后呢他这个离开上师去修行的时候那呢马巴上师呢特别的给他交代了一些这个修行的地方所以当时马巴跟那个米拉热巴尊者讲的是那个拉队的阶级系列这个是这个印度80成就者这个成就者他们所加持过的这个圣地所以这个地方也是非常好的一个修行的地方另外呢这个拉齐雪山是这个本尊山乐金刚的这个24个圣地的其中之一这我到过这那另外呢就是这个喀迪斯山是佛预言的一个这个如康间也就是这个雪山在这个地方也是本尊山乐轮的这个坛城所以这个地方也是非常殊胜的一个修行的地方还有在这个蒙语的柔干巴还有在这个尼泊尔地区的有摩雪山这些是在这个佛的华严经里面已经有这个预言到的一个地方另外呢还有在那个曲巴是那个它是在永福空心所居住的一个地方所以在这些地方那是这个修行非常好的一个地方所以呢将来你去到那些地方去修行还有除此之外呢当时这个马巴上师教导什么呢他说凡是你在这个山洞山林雪山这些无人的地方能够对自己的修行具有这个条件具有这个比较有意义的这些地方呢你就这个独自一个人要去修行所以这样的话你这个修行坚持到底的话这是这个对上师最殊胜的一个供养也是报答自己父母恩的一个最好的一个报恩同时也是利益一切众生的实实在在的一个度化众生利益众生的一个方式所以你就这个在这些地方要修行那就这个举起实修派的这样一个保重呢就是这个举起来所以呢就是这样教过以后呢尊者米勒热巴他开始在察哈大苏等这些地方他就这个修行所以尊者米勒热巴修行的他的这个道风是非常的这个一个艰苦克服一切种种困难的这样一个道风苦修的一个修行所以他只穿着一个白色的这个单衣吃的是这个寻草就这样他就这个坚定不移地尊重这个上师的教导他这个走上了这个实修的道路 所以呢，他就这个取得了很大的成就，得到了这个神通自在，而且呢，就是现在我们在这个大家都能够公认的，就是他是一个跻身成佛的一个大修行人。所以他这样修行以后呢，不单单是他一个人的这个修行，他的这个伟大的这个苦修的这种道风和正确的这样一个修行的鼓舞下呢，聚集了很多的弟子。所以这个呢，下面我在这个祈经文里面，这个有他的尊者的25个大成就的弟子的这些都有。这个是如果四句的念的话，那我就怕这个时间不够用，所以呢，就是大概的这些都是大成就者嘛，所以我们要得到他们的加持，所以我稍微的这个念一下他们的圣号。所以首先呢，就是当时弥勒日巴尊者他有这个25个大弟子里面呢，其中主要的就是像太阳一样的冈波瓦大师，像月亮一样的就是热宗多杰察巴，还有像星星一般的有这个安宗热巴、济公热巴等等。所以呢，就是冈波瓦大师他的这个当时弥勒日巴特别的给他起一个圣号呢，就是咱们察巴。咱们察巴的这个意思就是咱们是世界的意思，察巴就是神往的意思，所以他的这些神往呢，就是广泛这个传入于这个整个世界，所这样的一个意思。所以呢，后来呢，就是这些25个弟子里面的这个四边热巴、广波多吉、直贡热巴、热巴三阶级、先贡热巴、两贡热巴、内贡热巴、四部热巴、克宗热巴、荣宗热巴大贡热巴多吉万九、全热他妈万九、他妈结果吧，里国切入吧，劳动根据交通下降过呢，这都这些吧，从爱热宗嘛，热嘛35，还有白丹崩、加木白丹滚基。就25个弟子，所以25个弟子里面，其中这个4个就是有宗的弟子，所以他们也是这个得到了成就很高的，那就是这些是25个弟子，还有祖热巴等有这个100多个这个大成就者，这个开悟者。祖热巴他是一个刚开始的时候放羊的一个人，但是他在这个跟着弥勒日巴尊者学习修行，所以呢，他就这个得到了开悟的成就。还有其他的就是这个当时跟弥勒日巴修行的这些有得到一定觉受的这些成就的，也有这个1000多人，而且呢，这些是这个我们人的这个修行人，所以他呢就是这个。还有尊者弥勒日巴，他有很多的这种非人的这些弟子，所以呢，就是当时弥勒日巴尊者的他的这个修行的功德是非常大的，而且呢，就是在后来呢，就这个弥勒日巴的弟子冈波巴大师，从冈波巴大师那里呢，就这个发展出来的就是这个塔布格局。塔布格局呢，首先这个，比方说，庞蒙楚巴，还有这个，甘罗巴土松谦巴，还有，那个，还有那个什么呢？就是这个塞巴格局，还有宝中格局，就这些的这个4大，还有在这个庞蒙楚巴那边，这个发展出来的有这个。理工格局，灯笼格局、初步格局、灵热格局、修辞格局，亚桑格局，所以呢，就是这些的这个八小，所以呢，就是这个8个格局的传承，所以这些呢，就是这个当时，所以尊者弥勒日巴的这个道风的这个发展下来的，当时西藏呢，属于西藏， 可以算是所有的这个修行的胜利都这个满满的，就是占满了这些这个修行的地方。特别是比方说我们在这个六个月的教中今天诵过，他是龙树菩萨的化身，所以他是这个非常伟大的上师。所以他的在这个那个时代的时候，也是当初今天宋国在日公的这个福地寺在的时候呢，就是属于西藏的这个3个圣地，那就是这个喀迪斯山、拉齐山还有这个扎日山的，这就是本尊山乐金刚的圣云一的这个圣地嘛。所以这些圣地的永复空心，这个邀请吉田松果到这些圣地去这个修行加持。所以当时吉田松果跟那些回答什么呢？他说我现在这个入神是去不了的，我可以我智慧神通的方法来加持这些圣地，但是以后我的弟子派这些地方去这个修行。所以那个时候呢，就是教主吉田松果派了这个55525个弟子，所以这个是3个圣地都派了那么多的弟子。所以呢，就是这个当初这么多的这个修行人能够发展下来的，这个其中主要的原因是什么呢？当时这个米勒热巴他就这个举起这个实修派的这个旗帜，是这样一个道路的引导下，让那么多的修行人能够在这些地方去修行的。再说呢，这个米勒热巴尊者他的这个有修行的地方，前面这些马尔巴义士所预言的这些遗愿呢，还有在他的传记里面提出来的有几个这个圣地的名称，就是这个查克拉大苏乌马宗，还有民主赤马宗、林巴长马宗、让马强就宗、江片南巴宗、查加多吉宗，这是这个公开的这个6个宗。还有呢，琼龙琼宗、吉巴尼玛宗、库州延巴宗、西部曲行宗、北镇导阳宗、这巴冈地宗，这个是内部的这个6个宗。还有3位宗主是加查南巴宗、大部森格宗、北部马木宗、拉部白马宗、浪古鲁地宗、卓杰多吉宗。还有2个宗是吉布尼玛宗和波多南巴宗。还有他的有这个四大这个神洞是娘南地区的出巴铺，拉齐的这个敦敦铺，秦的这个日吉铺，冈地斯山的尊珠铺，萨铺的这个耕族铺，软地区的这个沃塞铺，还有这个萨沃铺，还有古当普隆铺，这些是这个他的这个8个神洞。所以这些呢，这个尊者的传记里面也是尊者教导过，以后你们再到这些地方去修行的话，能够这个能够得到这个传承祖师的加持，而且对你们呢就是这个在修行上不会有什么很多的干扰。所以呢就这样的，就这个尊者的道经里面记载是有这样的。所以说呢，现在呢就是这个最后呢那就是我这个秦永文的最后的这个有几句，这个念一下。Dorma jitu chenpo yapsay ki chingi labe enbe ne gundu tsende lo dan chachay ki kende rugyu tenpa tarshin kebar sho. Rugye zujin sheba dorji yi lungsim dudar changpen zanamo sanwa ponya amo tsirinme rugyu tenpa bebe chuanzu jik. Tomba jiden kamso chomba la tenpa niwu shindu sewa da dinze bonglu sherub jejune tenpa yuring nebe zhashi sho. 但就是最后的就是这个我希望呢，这个尊者米勒热巴以前他所修行过的和他的弟子们修行过的地方，我们能够 这个实际实践的八风，真正走上修行的路，这样的这个修行人越来越多的能够发展下去的话，这个是我们对我们大家的这个佛法的实修这个教法上是非常有益的这个事情。所以呢，现在呢就是这个没有时间了，所以呢就是我今天有这样一个因缘，有这样一个机会，那就是这次这个主办单位呢表示这个非常的这个感谢，那同时也是向佛友们祝大家斋西迭利，吉祥如意。曹总。
Our deepest and most earnest thanks to you, Nubpa Rinpoche, for your precious teachings. Next, His Eminence Yongey Mingyur Rinpoche will be giving us a teaching on Milarepa and meditation. Please join me in placing your palms together to warmly welcome His Eminence Yongey Mingyur Rinpoche.
Dirinde Katup Nidin, Drubi Jansin, Chimbu, Gobana Pepper, Japju Nubpa Rinpoche Chodan, Geshi Doji Damru, Dega Nanshin, Loben Dawa, Nambalinji Chasan Kutu Trash Delishu. So today I'm very appreciate to be present with the great realized master Japji Nubpa Rinpoche, and also learned Geshe Doji Damdul and Loben Dawala. So really appreciate and Tashidelek. So today my topic is about what is the relationship between Milarepa life story and the meditation. So the Milarepa entire his life spent time with the retreat in the various mountains, like Japji Nubpa Rinpoche mentioned. There are many holy mountains in Tibet, and some of these are right now exist in Nepal and some part of India also. So these are really great holy places. And the Milarepa received meditation teaching from his main guru, Marpa Loza. And then Marpa Loza asked Milarepa to go to various holy place in the mountain and to practice meditation. And Milarepa came back to his hometown. And that time his mother died, although his father died when he was young. And then his auntie and uncle take care of him, supposed to take care of him, but they instead take care of him and the mother and sister, but they took all the possessions, everything, and make him and his mother, sister, great suffer. And mother was very angry, and mother asked Milarepa to learn dark magic. So he went to many places, and finally he learned the dark magic and actually killed many people using the dark magic. And then Milarepa has a great kind of regret, and then really want to purify this bad karma, and in a way to help those people killed by him. So he finally met Marpa Lozawa, and then he kind of like did a lot of preliminary practice, building the house, and then Marpa Lozawa said, "Oh, this is not good. You have to build again and destroy." So a lot of hardship. And after done all of this, then Marpa Loza taught meditation. So what Marpa Loza taught to Milarepa, the main teaching is what we call Mahamudra. And this Mahamudra lineage come from India. Telopa received this Mahamudra teaching from the 4 direction of the great meditative lineage in India. So what we call Kagyupa meaning the words of the Buddha and the great masters, the lineage of the words of the Buddha and the great masters. And all this come to the Telopa. And Telopa taught to his main disciple, Naropa. And Naropa main disciple is the Marpa Lozawa. So Marpa Lozawa is the Milarepa's great main teacher. And within the Mahamudra, there are 3 types of Mahamudra. One is the Sutra Mahamudra, one is Tantric Mahamudra, and the last is what we call the essence of Mahamudra. So Tantric Mahamudra, the Sutra Mahamudra, Milarepa learned from Marpa Lozawa, and Marpa Lozawa learned from Mitripa. Mitripa is another great Indian Siddha. And the Sutra Mahamudra, the main teaching is about the shamatha and vipassana. And within the vipassana, main focus is about the emptiness union with the clarity. And then the second meditation is the Tantric Mahamudra, and that received from direct lineage from the Marpa Loza, and Marpa Loza received from the Naropa. And that this particular practice is with the emptiness union with the bliss. So main practice about the what we call 6th Naropa Yoga. And within the 6th Naropa Yoga, Chandali practice. So Chandali practice special with the inner heat. So Milarepa, main focus of the meditation is practice this 6 dharmas of Naropa, and special the inner heat. So when we go to the Milarepa holy place, the most of the holy place is high above the mountain, next to the snow mountain, very fresh and clean air and completely natural. Still right now also. And the essence of Mahamudra is main focus about to recognize our true nature, the Dharmakaya of Buddha nature, without any particular concept or particular relying on any other method, but it's direct method to recognize natural mind. So these are the main practice of the Milarepa, who spend entire lifetime in the mountain. So Milarepa went back to his hometown and saw that his mother died and his sister lost. Don't know where is his sister. Then he has very strong renunciation. So he went to Jakarta and practiced meditation for many, many, many years. And after that, he achieved direct realization, achieved enlightenment. So after he achieved enlightenment, and Milarepa thought, oh, now I should help many people. I should teach Dharma to everybody, maybe build a monastery or something. Then Milarepa has dream, the kind of like vision of his idam, the main, the Dagini. The idam said, idam is the main deity of the Milarepa, and mentioned to Milarepa, the most important for you to help other beings is retreat to practice meditation in the various mountains. Why? If you practice meditation and do retreat in the mountain, and that will be beneficial for the future for many, many beings, many, many people, and also it will help to preserve this meditation lineage. So then Milarepa, although he achieved full enlightenment, but he still spent time doing retreat in various caves in the mountains. Why? Because right now in Tibetan Buddhism, the Milarepa's life story is the one of the most source of the inspiration right now, because the Milarepa's life story changed many people's life, inspire many meditators, and not just meditator, lay people, householder, and the Milarepa life story is spread out throughout the Tibet. And many lay people, sometimes they sing song. Milarepa's the teaching, Milarepa's the what we call song of realization. And these phrases are very simple, meaningful. When you hear, it will give you special feeling, blessing. It really helps you to inspire, develop loving kindness, compassion, wisdom, renunciation, and also it really helps us to recognize emptiness. So these are really, really wonderful. So the main teaching and the practice, the meditation of Mahamudra style, and that is the main practice of the Milarepa. There's three important things. What Milarepa said, don't meditate. So what Milarepa says, not meditation, non-meditation is the best meditation. Don't meditate, but don't get lost. So then what we have to do, be with the natural. So three things, don't meditate, but don't get lost, and be with the natural, uncontrived. So these three messages is throughout all the Milarepa teaching and his practice. And we all have this lineage, Milarepa, through the Milarepa, as Nubpa mentioned, the lineage from Milarepa and the Milarepa's main disciple, Gamboba, and until now, this lineage is throughout present. And the Milarepa holy places, most of them are in Tibet. But there's in my hometown when I was young, now Nubpa mentioned many caves. So one of the cave is Nanjurpuk, and sometimes what we call Kutangpuk. So that is in my hometown. So when I was young, around 7, 8 years old, my mom used to read Milarepa life story. So in my hometown, we don't have electricity, phone, no car that time. Now we have electricity. But in the evening, we all sit together around the fire and we will have dinner together. We had dinner together. And after that, my mom used to read many enlightened master life story in the Tibet, like bedtime story, And many times she read the Milarepa's life story, and then my grandma will cry, and I cry. In the end, my mom also cry, and three of us cry together. So then there's a cave, Milarepa cave, Nanjurpuk. Sometimes we used to visit Milarepa cave there. And then another two main important cave of Milarepa is one is the Lapchi. So Lapchi is now Nubpa mentioned. And Lapchi is belong to Tukungaju, now under guidance of His Holiness Tukung Jamgon. And actually, I went to Lapchi during my wandering retreat. So you cannot, the holy place is so wonderful. You cannot go by car, and even horse, donkey cannot access directly from like lower part of Nepal, Kathmandu to there. So there's some bus go certain places. Then from there, we have to walk. So for tourists, 3-4 days. For me, it took 3 days. And that time I'm alone, nobody, and walk. And there's a path, it's quite narrow. So when I reach in the Lapchi, wonderful. And actually Lapchi is under care about Nubpa Rinpoche also. There's many retreatants there. I think more than 30-40 retreatants there. Some of them did retreat more than 20-30 years. And the main cave of the Milarepa called Lapchi Dundulpu. And where there's a Milarepa, spent many, many years, taught many Dharma teachings there. And I have opportunity to spend one summer to do retreat, and nobody knows who am I, and I went there secretly. I have beard and long hair, but then everybody in the Lapchi, they take care of me very well. So when we reach these holy places, what we feel is there's no any other kind of like distractions. You will feel there's some kind of renunciation, feeling of connecting with all the lineage masters, Milarepa, and also it will really inspire you to continue to practice Dharma. And Milarepa normally sing song about these holy places. So when we reach this holy place, automatically develop devotion, automatically develop renunciation, love and compassion, and awareness is present. The essence of meditation is awareness, and awareness is kind of automatically present there. The moment you walk into those holy mountains, your mind automatically become some kind of like non-conceptual state, open, free, present. And now what you have to do, you don't have to do anything. You don't need to meditate. As Milarepa said, non-meditation is the best meditation. Once we enter these holy places, our mind automatically enter the non-conceptual state. So in that time, be with that. So these are one of the really important practice. And also another holy place is, as Nubpa Rinpoche mentioned, the Yolmo mountain, Snow Mountain Cave. I spent there there's some time also. So all these places where Milarepa did retreat. So in the retreat has, normally what is the meaning of retreat? So retreat has 3 things: outer, inner, secret retreat. The outer retreat is the environment. So now normally in our life, we have very busy. Now everybody lost with the phone, Many of my friends, they want to meditate and they spend 5-10 minutes and they want to check the phone, and then they look at the phone, they think only 5 minutes, and become 5 hours lost time looking at phone or television. Or maybe then there's a lot of distraction about the kind of like chit chat or the competition, jealousy, hatred, anger. And by that, it might develop anxiety, depression, stress, so many destruction, so many objects. But these holy places, there's a outer retreat from the environmentally, totally peaceful, calm. And what we need is wood, dry wood. When I reach in Lapchi, I got small retreat hut, and I collect 1 week dry woods, spend a lot of time, collect the dead woods, dry dead woods in the mountain. So the wood is important, water is important, and then place to stay and the fire. So once you have that, that's a 5-star. You can stay in the 5-star cave or retreat hut. And then what you can do is practice meditation. So that is the outer retreat. And inner retreat is connecting with the body and the speech. So body-wise, we are not wasting time with the related with the negative action, which is hatred, jealousy, pride, ignorance, and also speech, lie, and also harsh word, decisive word. So in the mountains, you can talk to the trees, talk to the rocks, other than it's very peaceful. And the mind, meditation, and special is intention. So your mind wanting to meditate. When you try to meditate, the awareness is there. So the essence of meditation is awareness. So now you just be with the natural state of your own mind. So that's the meditation. So that is the really important for the Milarepa. And right now, many people say, I want to change the world. But if we don't change ourselves, we want to change the world, it doesn't work. So when we look at the human history, the dictators, they say they want to change the world. And what happened in the end? Fighting, war. So if we really want to change ourselves, like Milarepa, then that is really helping the world. In a way, we can change the world. If everybody try to change themselves, then the world become better place. So Milarepa spent entire life with the meditation retreat in the mountain, and that has great impact in the Tibet. Not just a meditator, lay people, everybody, and still now is impacting many parts of the world, inspired by Milarepa's life story, and like me and many other students. So thank you very much to participate today, and appreciate that this organizer and all the people who support this. Thank you.
A million, billion, trillion thanks to you, Mingyur Rinpoche, for your valuable teachings. Now let us welcome Lama Dundo, the one whose voice touches all hearts, to sing one of Milarepa's songs of realization, the song of devotion to Guru Marpa. Lama Dundo. Please unmute your mic.
Ke Ken Tondola, Ke Gashto.
Oi, thank you, sir. Good doing. Padre Tonse Ma Arabe Ja Traton Te Lo Mar Paje Trama Jolo Ya Jona Ajunte Tingra La Male Tinkarapon Deve Wachena Jare Langjen Jinde Shena Duru Sanje Jendre Teshena Aneche Cholongi Gombana Adoje Amonege Tretena Tetenye Sani Epadena Tena Suyo Sumejo Otena Trajumar Pasho Atutada Shona Kavala Namu Chonyan Jenindo Donsme Choron Jenindo Samhin Tsende Lama Gongxin Maravalo Tsache Yomale Labe Eda Tutada Shona Kavala Asakota Raya Jenindo Lamdro Barakaya Hanje Niendo Samyen Tsende Lama Jin Gongxin Maravalo Tsache Ayomale Labe Maete Atutada Korona Kavala Ngambuwa Churu Onye Nindo Oyo Mero Nindo Osamye Sende Lama Gongchen Maravalo Tsoche Tisamo Naro Chute Toto Sono Golo Nanyure Choro Yeniro Gongse Choro Gonyendo Samyen Tsende Lama Je Gongse Maravalo Tsache Ewa Tsache Tende Tata Shona Kavala Nanyamdo Ongero Nindo Kowa Shero Nindo Samyen Tsende Lama Gongchen Maravalo Tsache Tramu Jingane Endre Minya Lama Nyingme Trebaye Endo Petone Solame Oto de Zanege Madon Udon Asoje Katije Now to say
Our warmest thanks Lama Dundok, for making us feel deeply the devotion in our hearts. Next, let's put our palms together to invite the Most Venerable Geshe Dorje Damdul to give us a Dharma teaching on distinguishing features of Milarepa's Vajra songs. Geshe Dorje Damdul.
두기기 된지 심보 디 가지는 무시 겹지 가지는 무시 초다 아니 겹지 미유르 무시 초 된게니라 아니 디 고샤 담다 대안의 신데 라마 다와체 라마 실라체 라마 툰줄라체네 아니 미셸 왕 제네디 아니 좀 소자 성로 아 저스트 슈이 Okay, my great respect to the most venerable Kachin Rinpoche, and to Minkyo Rinpoche, and to Lama Daula, the host, and Michelle Wong, and particularly the extremely moving, the spiritual song of Milarepa sung by Lama Tindrup, very touching. And some of you may be wondering, who is this person? This could be a question. So basically, just to give you a little bit of background of myself, I was born in Nepal, and then I was brought up as a very young child after losing my mother. I was brought up in India, north of India, Dharamsala TC school, since 5 years old. Then I did my schooling there, and till high school, I had the intention or the aspiration to become a physicist, for the reason that I was so fond of physics and mathematics. And for some reasons, and of course, I can see that as a little bit of karmic connection. For some reasons, in fact, for me, it was quite a strong reason for me to proceed through the spiritual path and join the Institute of Buddhist Dialectics in Dharamsala. So I was there for about 6 years. So before that, while I was still in school and high school, there, my teacher, then he was not a geshe, he was just graduated from the monastic institution, and then he shared with the students, the biography of Milarepa. It was very inspiring, and of course, it was so inspiring, and he continued to share the life story of Milarepa over an extended period of 1 year, and of course, along with the other main teachings. That was what was happening. And then after me joining the Institute of Buddhist Dialectics, there, I was connected with one of my very close student, and I have a tremendous respect for him. As a classmate, the most venerable His Eminence Chungpa Rinpoche, who is now based in Dehradun, from the Kagyu lineage, from Nubpa Kagyu lineage. And we were in the same institute as a classmate. And one thing that I was so fascinated by him was that he did not really have modern education. Only training is in the monastic training in the Kagyu lineage. And he is so far-sighted and very inspiring. And somehow the first introduction, as a young boy, age 19, and he himself was age 19, and I asked him, just teach me how to meditate. And then he taught me that. It was very auspicious beginning. And then there's somehow through him, I felt connected with Jesus Milarepa's biography even more, and connected with Jesus Rijumba, connected with Jesus Naropa, Jesus Tilopa, Jesus Marpa, all these great teachers. I was constantly getting access to these teachers and their inspiring teachings. So I had the feeling, very strong feeling came to me that, so finally, after being trained in the Buddha's teachings, find the purpose is to become like just Milarepa. So that was the great inspiration that I felt. And then so on my altar, just Milarepa's picture was always there as a great inspiration for me personally. And that was one thing. And now, as a part of this talk, say later at a later stage, it may become a little technical. Bear with me, because that my job is to give talk on distinguishing the various songs of Jesus Milarepa. In other words, I don't really want to go too technically and into the nuances and so forth, but I simply want to give the overview of the teachings of Jesus Milarepa on the basis of spiritual songs, and which I felt inspired. This one thing. Particularly when I was in the Ancient Buddhist dialectics, when it was like 25 years ago there, and then meeting with the Jesus Milarepa's biographer always with me. And one part which really struck me with a great, the awe and inspiration was the part on the chapter on the personal guidance by the Guru. Personal guidance by the Guru, when finally Jesus Marpa accepted Jesus Milarepa as his, for his teaching. And till that point, he was more subject to purification, the processes. And then at that point, so finally he accepted that I'm going to give you teaching. So the teaching was given, and then he was instructed to sit for a retreat, and a retreat there in the Thoda Tagnya retreat. So he was to be sitting there for retreat for 11 months. Okay, now this is what I like to really share with you. It's not a teaching, it's just my personal sharing with you. So what I felt was that, at that time, when I was reading this, I was so moved, and more like struck by this piece. And then today, after all these many years now, and so from whatever little studies that I did, whatever little the reflections I did, whatever little meditation that I did of all these about the bodhicitta, the emptiness, and so forth. So whatever little that I did, and then when I tried to relate this with the kind of spiritual realizations just Milarepa offered to his Guru. So the Guru at the Thoda Tagnya retreat. So the Guru once came there after 11 months. After 11 months of just Milarepa's intense retreat there, just after the Guru's acceptance of him as his teaching student, and then this 11 months, his personal practice, and how he experienced, what he shared. That is, for me, it is like, my life, whatever I did, what I'm doing, whatever I should be doing, all this combined together, I can see that this just 11 months, Jesus Milarepa's spiritual realizations that he offered as a report to his Guru, that is that is good enough for me. Good enough for me that this is finally, if this much, even a half of this, or 1/10 of this, 1/100 of this, if I can do in my life, that is a great Dharma practice. This is what I realized. So In this connection, what I'd like to share with you is that it's very important that one, which is, which I find interesting, was that Jesus Milarepa, at one point, when he was, in one of his meditations, and then he had a dream of plowing a field, and then he could not plow it so well. And then in the dream, Jesus Marpa, his teacher, came from the sky, and he gave some instructions how to plow it. And he plowed it, and it really came out a very good harvest. And the moment he woke up, Jesus Milarepa woke up, there's a tremendous bliss, feeling of joy coming, that okay, I'm so lucky that I have this pleasant dream of meeting with my teacher, and then my teacher gave me instruction, and then I succeeded in plowing the field so well. Then Jesus Milarepa, another thought followed that. So that, I think, is extremely important. That the thought that came to him after that is something that we, the Dharma practitioners, from whatever tradition, it doesn't matter. Finally, we should be, our mind should be transformed. Anybody who's aspiring to transform one's mind, following any teachers, any tradition, so these people must be mindful of what Jesus Milarepa said here. So there, Jesus Milarepa said that after waking up and then getting this bliss or the joy over having succeeded in plowing the field so well in the dream, through the instruction of the Guru, he felt that this is something even the ordinary people, even the ordinary person will not feel attached to it. This is just a dream. And I am worse than the ordinary person. This is what he said. So giving so much of value to the dream. This is what he said. So that is something which is, again, very close to my heart. I see how practical Jesus Milarepa is. He's more focused on his spiritual realizations rather than just relying on the dreams and so forth. That is something which we all need to keep in mind, number one. Then in this, now a little bit of the technical side. In this 11th month of his meditation, and the report that he offered to his guru in the form of his spiritual offerings, or a report of the offerings of his spiritual realizations to the guru, and the guru, they say, Jesus Marpa, they asked Jesus Milarepa, okay, now my son, you come out of the retreat. You are so intense in the retreat, you come out of this after 11 months. And then Jesus Milarepa, at first he was, okay, for me, my food, the physical health and well-being and so forth, this is just secondary. My retreat is number one important thing. But given that this is my guru's instruction, so that is the priority. So he set off. He started to leave off come out of the retreat, and then he could not really break the door to come out. And then the Yum Dagmema, she said, just are you not coming out? And I could not really break the door because that I feel so much longing for my retreat. So I feel nostalgic of having to leave this retreat. And then just the Dhamma.
Your microphone is muted. It's still muted. Please unmute your microphone.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So the Michelle Wong, can you tell me where did you hear the last? What was the last point which you heard?
So she's asking him to come out, and he's feeling attachment to the.
Okay. So then the Yum Dagmema, the mother meaning the consort of Jesus Marpa, the teacher, she said, no, it is the Guru's instruction, you must come out. And then Yum Dagmema helped him to break the door, and then he came out finally. And then the Jesus Marpa then instructed the Jesus Milarepa, now come with me. and then share your spiritual realizations. What have you realized? And then he started to say the share, or he started offer his spiritual realization in the form of report to the guru. So that is 11 months practice. So what I'd like to share with all of you, all the participants here, including myself, is that this should be the benchmark of our Dharma practice. Whatever tradition that we're following, we must see that what Jesus Milarepa succeeded, what Jesus Milarepa did in these 11 months, that is so important. And of course, that incorporates only the first part of his Dharma practice, which is more like the sutra part of the practice, the ground of the Dhamma practice, and then adding to that would be like the clear light manifestation, the Mahamudra, clear light manifestation will follow that. So that part is so important, and of course, the technicalities. Now it involves a little bit of technicalities here. The first guru devotion, and in of course in the Tibetan tradition, and in the Chinese tradition, in the Tibetan tradition, we see that guru devotion is extremely given importance, and of course this is so important. This one part. For this, I don't think that I really need to elaborate on this. People have guru devotion, which is very important, extremely important. But in the modern context, particularly people who are brought up purely in the environment of modern education, there's a slight danger that the guru is seen more like your colleague, and then the faith and devotion is not really there. And then at times, for small trivial reasons, they can easily fight with the guru. This is something extremely unfortunate. Whereas, generally speaking, in the Chinese tradition, in the Tibetan tradition, and also in the Theravada tradition, we see that the guru devotion plays a very important role. But the one demerit of the modern education, purely modern education, I would say, is that this is something which is lacking. I sense it. Because over the many years of my interacting with people, and then all the people that I interact, they're all mostly modern educated, and many of them are purely from the modern education without background in the traditional Dharma practice. So this is one danger where they may take the guru devotions very light, and then at times they can really sever this guru devotion, which is very dangerous. And we can see that the guru devotion is like the pipeline. It's like the bridge between you and your Buddhahood. That is so important. If you sever it with total disrespect and so forth, and of course, sometimes unfortunate things happen. The unfortunate things happen on the part of the karmic, whatever karmic relation, the degeneration. There is some complications happening. Otherwise, we see that when the guru is standard meaning that helping you. So in which case, well, finally your devotion decides what level, how fast you tread on the path of enlightenment. Gade para samgade bodhi soha. How fast you travel, that is determined by your devotion to guru, and of course other factors are there. Guru devotion is like the bridge, and when that is severed, finish. No matter what we do, it doesn't really help us in any ways to get to enlightenment. The bridge is not there. So however prepared that you are, if the bridge is not there, how can you get there to the island, the treasure island? So this is one thing, sharing. So there, the Jesus Milarepa, the first report, the first piece out of the report was his guru devotion, and the guru devotion was so intense, seeing the guru as the embodiment of the Dharmakaya, as the real embodiment of Choku, of the embodiment of the Buddha, the Vajradhara, and then the practice the meditation on the preciousness of the human birth, then impermanence. I don't want to go too detailed into these because many of the practitioners, they do emphasize on these. So like the preciousness of human birth, followed by the impermanence of our life, the transitoriness of the life, and so forth. And then alongside reflect on the impermanent, they reflect on the law, the efficacy of law of karma, how the law of karma is so efficacious, and on that basis to behave appropriately. And then they say, what if you don't behave appropriately in line with law of karma, then what are the consequences? The samsaric miseries, overall general samsaric miseries, and then the specific samsaric miseries. All these reflections are to be done. Of course, these are emphasized. Then the next part is very important. And finally, say how to really get out of this samsaric existence is by depending on the eightfold noble path, which all this, you just read this part. I would say that all the practitioners, and of course we can think about the activating clear light, Mahamudra, and the outer Mahamudra, inner Mahamudra, sacred Mahamudra, and so forth. But finally, without these as the ground, without this, the spiritual realization, just Milarepa, they offered to his guru as a spiritual, the offering. So without this taken care of, no matter, the same in the context of the Kagyu tradition is the Mahamudra, in the context of the Sakya tradition is the Seldong Sukju, the union of the clarity and the emptiness. In the case of the Nyingma, the Dzogchen realization, the great completion. In the case of the Genden, it is the activating the innate, the spontaneous, innate clear-light mind. So we see that all these things for that part, that activation, yes, they are very important, but then the ground must be there. At the ground of what Joseph Milarepa taught us, the 11 months of his spiritual realizations. Of course, for me, all these many years of my study, reflection, meditation, little effort, I see that this is just not even a fraction of the 11 months of realization Joseph Milarepa had. So I feel so inspired rather than going to the very sophisticated teachings. Of course, the teachings I can receive in the form of the blessings, but in terms of the actual practice, I see that what Joseph Milarepa did 11 months, that if a part of it, if can succeed in it, that is going to be great Dharma practice. This is what I'm going to share with you. And then the little bit of this, I have the 5 minutes more. So with this, what I'd like to share with you is the another technical part. So finally, if somebody were to follow the Joseph Milarepa's path, what should we be doing? The first thing that we have to do is, as the most venerable Kyabje Khanje Rinpoche said, and the Kyabje Mingyu Rinpoche said, that first we have to see if you can. Yes, the life is very busy. Modern life is so busy. We have jobs, we have the family to take care of, and the competitions, and meanwhile agitation, anger, jealousy, attachment, all these things are there. This is reality. So with these things, what should we be doing? Say, following this great teacher, Milarepa, what should we be doing? The first thing that we have to do is, including myself, not just giving the advising you, including myself. The first thing is see how much we can refrain from the 10 non-virtuous actions. The way Joseph Milarepa said in this 11 months report, say how we can stay away from the 10 non-virtuous actions: 3 physical, 4 verbal, and 3 mental. I don't want to go into detail. And the next, of course, that is not difficult. That's not difficult in the sense that we don't really need extensive studies how identifying the 10 non-virtuous actions and stay away from them. So this is something, even legally speaking, all the according to the legal, say, the procedures, we all have to abide by these 10 the virtues. This is number 1. Then number 2 is going a little deeper. How these 10 non-virtuous actions arise within us, driven by the thought processes. For example, say I'm grabbing at this juice. The physically, you see that physical action, I can see that grabbing the juice. What makes me to grab the juice is my thought process. If I don't have a thought process of liking this juice, I'll not go to grab at it. So the physical actions are determined by the thought process. So these destructive thought processes are known as the afflictions. So the second point that we need to keep in mind is how to mitigate the power of the afflictions to the best we can. So we are short-tempered. We may be shouting at your mother. Oftentimes, people who are brought up in the modern education, the tendency is they shout at the mother so easily. If we can't really take care of a mother, how can we take care of all the mother sentient beings? And then to do the very sophisticated tantric practices. So therefore, the point is that first, let's see how to mitigate the power of the afflictions, and be kind towards your family. Be kind towards your mother. Stop shouting at your mother. This is the first step that we need to keep in mind. Then we go further into what is known as the tackling this subjective mind. Then what the Nubpa Rinpoche said and Mingyur Rinpoche said is then to see the awareness, Mahamudra, see the awareness to really tackle these physical and mental, then abide in this experience of the awareness. Within that, again, we see that there are two. The way Milarepa gave the report to Marpa, it is two. The one is simply the experience of the luminosity of this awareness. Just be aware of this awareness. And then the number two is be aware of the empty nature of this awareness. That is so important. So for that matter, I personally, what I would say is that all these many years of my passionate, my passion for the emptiness concept, what the Buddha Shakyamuni taught, what Aranagarjuna taught, and then reading Milarepa's the spiritual songs since like 25 years time, I see that, so that there's constant reference Milarepa is making to the emptiness, particularly in the context of seeing that everything is illusion. So how the demons, even you, are lacking intrinsic nature. So the question is that I personally, from these many years of my studies into emptiness, reflection, and meditation, I see that my progress is really very slow. And then when I see just Milarepa's the story of the 11 months report that he gave, I'm just awestruck by that. And then I see that, okay, we really need to focus on the report that Milarepa gave. So this I like to really inform this to all the audience here, to really not miss the ground. The ground is what the report Milarepa gave of his spiritual realizations to his teacher just immediately after the first intense retreat, 11 months retreat. That is so important. And then another part, which oftentimes I like to share with you, which Mingyur Rinpoche said, is that no meditation is the best meditation. Okay, this I like to make a little bit of clarification, because this can be, this is in fact a realization which can come to say, for example, what the great teachers said, that when you are in a very holy place, like the Takartaso and so forth, you can feel something inside. You could feel evolve, purity coming out. You can feel that. So this I say that don't mistake the lighthouse and your own light. So when you go to the holy places, you feel that, for example, you go to Bodh Gaya, you'll feel that your mind is very calm and peaceful and no room for anger. When you go to Takartaso and the holy sites, you see that your mind is calm and peaceful. These are the lights from the lighthouse, not your house, not your light. This light from the lighthouses. So don't mistake the light from the lighthouse and your light. So when you're away from the lighthouse, the light is gone. So now these lighthouse, the light from the lighthouse, these are incredibly precious and blessings, telling you that if you put effort, you can also have this light, right? So that you will gain conviction, confidence, and the joy that, okay, yes, this is something possible. I can feel it within myself. So this is actually the radiation, reflection of the light coming from the lighthouse, your gurus, the great teachers. with this, don't think that, okay, now I'm realized. We are not realized just by going to the holy sites and then you experience blissful experiences, calmness and so forth. It's not that you are realized. You are simply getting inkling that realization is possible. So now how to make it possible? With this light that you felt now, you have to put effort the way Jesus Milarepa put effort. If that's easy, then Jesus Milarepa was already with Jesus Milarepa, Jesus Marpa. Jesus Milarepa was already with Jesus Marpa. Jesus Marpa already realized. So why did he have to go through all these many years of penance under Jesus Marpa, and they have to build all the houses, one after the other, one after the other, one after the other, and eventually intense retreat for 11 months. So why did you have to go through all these things? So these are the efforts required from your mind, from your side, to make sure that the light that you have seen through the blessings of your guru reflected within you can be made your light, the luminosity, the clear light of the Mahamudra be activated through your effort, the way Jesus Milarepa presented in this 11 months meditation and the report that he submitted to the Guru in the form of his offerings. So that is so important. So in this connection, last point I'd like to share with you is no meditation is best meditation. Non-meditation is best meditation. So let's say in Heart Sutra, Gade Gade Para Gade Para Samgade Bodhi Swaha. So when you reach the Bodhi Swaha level, which means that we talk about the Gade is the part of accumulation, Para Gade, second Gade is a part of the part of preparation, Para Gade is part of seeing, Para Sangha is part of meditation, Bodhi Swaha is part of no more learning. So something of this kind, when you reach that level, when you reach your home, you don't have to seek the home. You're getting it? Before you get home, you have to seek the home. So let us not mix up the two things. So when you are at home, you don't have to seek the home. Don't seek the home when you're at home, because you're already at home. So this is the meaning of non-meditation. When you're already into the meditation state, very profound experience of meditation state, don't put effort into meditation. It's already there within you. Don't put effort to meditate on it because you already experienced it, because you're there. And then they say this is on a very high level. So when we quote Jesus Milarepa this to ordinary people, many ordinary people think that, okay, I go to Thakartaso and then I don't have to meditate because non-meditation is best meditation. This confusion can happen. So I really like to warn all of you and myself that I would say these teachings, some teachings are in the context of the realized people. Some are in the context of the non-realized people like us. For us, we have to meditate, and then we have so much anger, agitation, craving, jealousy, and so forth. And then, I'm so lucky that I met with the teaching. We said that non-meditation is best meditation. So I'm not in meditation. I'm in the best meditation. So this is a real the things that we need to take care of. Okay. In other words, finally, what I like to say is thank you so much, Laman Dawala and all your team, and Michelle Wong, thank you so much, and Gajin Rinpoche, the Kyabje Gajin Rinpoche, thank you so much. It is great, the inspiration, blessings that everyone is getting from you, and Mingyu Rinpoche, thank you so much. And so let us not forget the 11 months report of the spiritual realizations, just Milarepa offered to his guru. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Geshe Dorje Damdul, for your passionate sharing and teachings. Now, let's watch the video Venerable Matthew Ricard made for us on homage and celebration of Jetsun Milarepa.
It is quite extraordinary that 1,000 years after Milarepa's time, he, a hermit who was roaming to wild solitudes, caves, practicing far from everyone, as today still this extraordinary power of inspiration. He was not a king, a head of state, a conqueror. he was someone whose whole life was dedicated to enlightenment. And still, today, so many people heard about Milarepa, read his life, was inspired by his songs, keep him as a perfect example of a Dharma practitioner. And above all, it shows the crucial importance of sustained practice. Remember the last advice he gave to his heart son Gampopa. When Gampopa was about to take leave, Milarepa, for the last time, he was with Milarepa. Milarepa called him back and said, I will give you a last teaching. Then Milarepa turned and lifted his robe and shows his bottom, which was callous. Why? He says, because he has been sitting for years on rocks, on cold stones. And he says, this is my ultimate teaching. Practice, practice, practice. So yes, it's something that people like us beginners should really take to heart. As Milarepa said also, in the beginning nothing comes, in the middle nothing stays, in the end nothing goes. So in the beginning, maybe it's difficult to change our very strong tendencies and habits of laziness and distraction and being attracted by the 8 worldly concerns, all those lures and illusions of the so-called perfections of this world. And so it's difficult to really get in the stream of the practice. We sit and we cannot keep our mind still. We say meditation is not for me. So very difficult to start. Then with time, some kind of clarity, stability, and inner calm and understanding start to come. But then it doesn't stay, it's unstable. Then with real time, then at some point, meditative experience are like mist, they will dissolve. True realization is like the sky, never change. So that's what, of course, what Milarepa reached. But to achieve that, it doesn't come like that. He said he will practice till your last breath, till the head falls on your chin when you die. I remember also the Dalai Lama speaking to a group of retreatants who had just finished a 3 years retreat in France. And it says, don't think that because you did 3 years of practice that you have done something extraordinary. You must practice till your last breath. And Shepkar, who also practiced in many of Milarepa's caves and was considered by some as Milarepa's sort of emanation or whatever. He said, may the duration of your practice be that of your life. So that's really the extraordinary teaching of Milarepa. And also to understand that all the years he spent in solitary retreat, there's absolutely nothing selfish in that. Some people think, oh, those people take it easy, they don't have to deal with the difficulties of life. As Milarepa himself said, during the 12 years of his long practice, he said, there's not one meditation, not one mantra, not one visualization, not one moment of practice that was not entirely dedicated to sentient beings. So we cannot say that something that is meant to eradicate the self and generate boundless compassion is selfish. It's like if when we build a hospital, the few years of making the concrete and electricity and pipes and plumbing do not cure anyone, but when the hospital is ready, it can cure so much more than people trying to do surgery in the street. So Milarepa built the Hospital of Enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings. And today, his presence, his influence, his teaching, his life story, his songs are just vibrantly present with us as a constant source of inspiration. Now, whether we want to take the full, how do you say, I don't say advantage, but benefit the most from all what he did and taught, it's up to us. It's up to us to practice. Nobody can force us to change our mind. So it's up to us. It's the most extraordinary adventure we can do in this life, to give meaning to this life, to extract the quintessence of this human life. So let's celebrate the life story example of Milarepa and his lineage, and especially let's use that as a strong incentive, a joyful incentive to generate enthusiasm, determination to practice. As you know, the paramita of endeavor is defined as the joy toward virtue, the joyful effort to become a better human being and to become free from our obscuration, so that for the benefit of beings we progress to enlightenment. So I wish you a wonderful celebration of Milarepa, and let's try to do our best ourselves, to do some practice as much as possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Venerable Matthew Rika, for taking the time to make this video sharing with us. Now, I'd like to request all participants in the Zoom room to turn on your videos so that we can take a picture of all of you. And as you do that, we will now continue on to the next part of the program, which is the grand dedication. Lama Dawa.
Okay. Somebody we do the coach channel segedol. Hence the let's sama yang Rinpoche kona banjaya da yang cukup pada waktu ni raya the jige sari.
Now, everyone, please remember to smile at the camera. We have 9 pages to take.
Okay. 那就回向啊。
Grand dedication.
因为时间的关系，所以没有办法那个救人answer。 Can you share Abdullah? Can you share Abdullah? Do it. Can you share Abdullah? Go on, no. Share Abdullah, put some.
Có đuổi.
No.
Ăn được nữa. Nam George Vanso Rinpoche Parike Padorje Jurbeko Ajil Zunre Pache Bolai Pamiku Duve Surbandi Yede Zome Pelo Deka Dunda Sekunda Dujiro Selo Mi Mada Chuye Lo Tambe Jusun Rovada Lame Dang Lo Parma Gova Chuje Lam Dan Rovada Le Unre Landor Majorja Jidomba Damse Nambarda So Sai Je Sami Yong So Do Chu Chu Ji Nu Mon Chen Le Zhor Nai Ge Di Lam Zan Tha Ro Che Dong Ran Re Yu Ma Sa Ja Je Iko Zom Zar Nang Chu Nye Je Je Re Pa Jen Bo Sa Son Da Ye Me Si Ran Re Nyi Mu Se Tu Ke Je Ngun Bar Sang Je De Man Kar Chan Do Van Te Nu Ba Cho Tu Mong Mur Da Ma Le Ba Tin Da Ra Da Ba Sen Je Lo Ge Wan De Ye Nyo Da Da Ye Se Me La Ndu Ja Ne Do Va Chi Jang Ma Le Ba Ye Sa La Lu Ba
And for those of you who are interested in learning more about Milarepa's Vajra songs or songs of realization, the Drikonkaju Om Center will be organizing weekly teachings every Thursday, starting the 22nd of October to 26th of November. So for a total of 6 sessions. If you're very interested in taking part in these, please sign up by sending an email to the email address you see on screen right now. And so thank you all for being here with us, for spending such a meaningful time together. We wish you all the best. And this concludes our program for today. Thank you once again. Goodbye.
네, 상말라 민가원 투지체 그진체 谢谢大家.你有开大家的吗？
Thank you, Rinpoche, Lama.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Lama Dawa.
Lama Dawa.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Guru.
Thank you so much. See you next time.
Thank you very much.
Che, che,